Hello everybody, this is Zombie. Welcome back to another Pokemon TCG live video. We have a new deck for you today. I actually got this deck from Reddit originally, or at least the idea for it. I don't know if the actual deck list is from Reddit. There is a Pokemon TCG Reddit. If you are not a part of it, there is a lot of really cool decks that get posted there. So check it out for sure. But this deck is built around a very unique card, one that you guys may not have even realized is a thing because it's not meta by any stretch of the imagination. This is very much a for fun deck, and it's very inconsistent, so don't expect this to do like a really good at a big tournament or anything. This is for fun. It's good for online. It's good for just casual events if you want to try it out for yourselves. This is a deck based around Onix, and this is the Onix from the 151 set. And we're going to be focusing on purely its first attack, called Thumblanche, for 2 colorless energy. This attack, you discard the top 5 cards of your deck, and then it does 80 damage for each Pokemon with a retreat cost of exactly 4 that you discard in this way. So it's a very specific circumstance to be able to do damage with this Onix, but it's really fun when you get it off, and you can do a ton of damage with it. And a lot of people end up conceding when you just start blasting their Pokemon that they need to have around to be doing damage. When your Onix is just one-tapping them, with this deck, Onix is the only attacker. There's one other attacker, but it's very rare, and you don't want to use it. And technically 2 other attackers. But for the most part, it's going to be just Onix. And because you're only running Onix and you're running the double booster energy, I forget what they're called. I'm used to double colorless. I forget what the new ones are called. But the 2 colorless energies that reduce your attack by 20. You only need those cards, and then Onix is ready to rumble, and then you just start milling your own deck, which is even more frustrating for your opponent because at that point you don't need any more cards. So it can get set up really quickly, but it'll also just flop really bad. So we're going to look at a couple of other cards that make this deck run. But Onix is the main thing. That's all you really need to worry about. Outside of Onix, we do have its evolution, Steelix, which actually feeds into Onix's attack because it does have a 4 retreat cost. But if we really need to get some insured damage without discarding our own cards, we can use Steelix. Typically, I only use its first attack. Its second attack is a lot of energy, but for a single steel energy, you can do 130 damage with Earthquake, but this does mean you're doing 30 damage to everything on your bench. This is nice if you don't have anything on the bench. You do no damage yourself, but you can be damaging your own Onix, which also isn't a huge deal because a lot of times Onix is getting KO'd. It's getting one-hit KO'd by everything else that's being played, so it's not a huge deal doing 30 damage to your own Onix. It's very circumstantial that it'll end up mattering if you do end up damaging your own Onix. But those are going to be our 2 main attackers. We do have a Fezandipiti EX in this deck, which can attack, but again, it's not something you really want to be attacking with. It's there just for flip the script. So if one of your Onix gets KO'd, you can draw 3 new cards. You're not going to do that often because you don't want to be accidentally drawing your big retreat cost Pokemon and then not being able to get them back in the deck. But we do have ways to do that. We'll go over that in a moment. So again, there's only 5 basic Pokemon in this deck. It's your 4 Onix and your 1 Fezandipiti EX. Otherwise, everything else is evolutions. Now, some of the Pokemon I have here, and don't make my mistake when building this deck, some of these Pokemon here are the really big, flashy, like EXs and V-Star Pokemon. Not flashy. I guess they're ones you don't really get to see. But this deck allows you to use a lot of those cards that you may not use typically. So when I was originally building this, I was just using my currency to buy the EX cards that the deck list that I found had. You don't have to do that at all. You do see I'm running Torterra EX, Venusaur EX, Gyarados EX, Garganacl EX, Golem EX, Aggron V-Star or VMAX. You don't have to do that. There's very easy 4 retreat cost Pokemon that are really easy to get a hold of. There's like Rhyperior in the new set, as well as Copperajah from Shrouded Fable. What I would do is I would make the because the deck list is in the description below if you want to try this deck out for yourself, you can copy and export that into TCG Live, and then just get rid of the 4 retreat cost Pokemon that you don't own, and then replace them with other ones that you do. Just make sure that they are evolutions. So like Torterra EX, evolution, but has a 4 retreat cost. Venusaur EX, 4 retreat cost, but it is an evolution. This way you don't start off with your Pokemon that you're trying to discard, right? It ensures that you're starting with an Onix or Fezandipiti at the worst. So make sure they're evolutions, and they have 4 retreat cost, and anything works, as long as they meet those 2 stipulations for Onix. If I've counted correctly, it should be... Here, let me actually click on this so I know specifically. So there's 30 Pokemon in this deck. 9 of those are Onix, Steelix, and Fezandipiti. So you need 21 Pokemon that are both an evolution and have a 4 retreat cost. So just 21 of them. Any 21 of them works. But it is kind of fun to get those Pokemon that you aren't going to be typically using that you own in there, so you can just kind of show them off, especially like in person, especially because like when you're mulliganing, you're showing those to your opponent, like, what is this deck? But yeah, you don't have to spend a ton of money to make this deck. It's actually pretty cheap deck. I think Fezandipiti might be the most expensive card in this deck, actually. It looks like it, yeah. You can make this deck for dirt cheap, but again, it's not super consistent, and that's why it's a little bit cheaper. But those are the Pokemon that are used in this deck. What do we have for trainers? The trainers kind of hold the glue of this deck together. We do have 2 different stadiums in this deck. And there is a kind of a specific way you want to play them to get the most use out of them. You're going to want to try and start with Artazon. We have 2 copies of Artazon in here. This allows you to grab Onix out of your deck. You want to get Onix out of your deck, all the Onix you can out of your deck as quick as you can, so you're not discarding them with your own Onix. Now, I believe, let me actually double check this. Onix also has 4 retreat costs. So if you do discard an Onix, it does go towards your attack, but you want those Onix on your bench to be able to attack with. So Artazon is for that. You want to play that early game, get Onix out, all the Onix out of your deck as quick as you can. And then we do play 1 copy of Academy at Night, which, again, another card you don't typically see. So it's kind of fun to get to use these cards that you don't normally see being used. With Academy at Night, once during each player's turn, that player may put a card from their hand on top of their deck. Typically, not going to be the greatest thing. It's going to be very niche situations that you'll be able to use Academy at Night effectively. But for Onix, that means if we have any of those evolution cards with the 4 retreat cost in our hand, we can use Academy at Night to put them on top of the deck and then discard them with Onix's attack, ensuring that we at least do 80 damage. So that's a good way to get that. We're only playing 1 in here. You might want to play 2, just in case your opponent is discarding your stadium a lot. It's not the end of the world if you don't have Academy at Night on the field, but it is very useful, especially later in the game when you're starting to run out of the cards that are in your deck. To help get those stadiums, we do play 4 copies of Colress's Tenacity. This supporter card allows you to grab a stadium card and an energy card from your deck and put them into your hand. So you'll be able to grab the double colors. I'm going to find the real name. Double Turbo Energy is what it's called. This will allow you to grab Double Turbo Energy and a stadium out of your deck, get them in play. Again, a lot of your turns are going to come... You want to be playing like either a Colress Tenacity or an Arven every single turn, because you're trying to get those cards out of your deck that aren't going to help your Onix increase its damage. And then you're not discarding things like the Double Turbo Energy or the stadiums that you need to get those Onix in play. Another way to get those energies, we do have the Energy Loto. You can look at the top 7 cards of your deck. If you reveal an energy card you find there, put it into your hand, shuffle your cards back to your deck. More times than not, I find this to be a shuffle your deck card. Like, I rarely get an energy off of it, but that also helps too. There are things like Iono. Do we play Iono in here? We don't play Iono in here, but if your opponent Ionos, you can then Energy Lotto, shuffle your deck back up. Preferably you get an energy off of it, but it is a way to shuffle your deck if you really need to. We are also playing 2 copies of Luxurious Cape. This kind of just gives your Onix some... a staying power. but you want to make sure you're using it in the right situation. Don't put it on your Onix if it's just going to get KO'd instantly anyway, because with the Luxurious Cape, it does make it so that if the Pokemon this is attached to gets knocked out, they get 2 prize cards. So you do get to bring Onix up to 220 HP, or if you're putting on a Steelix, 280, but that means your opponent gets 2 prize cards, which one of the benefits of this deck is you're only really giving away single prize cards unless they grab your Fezandipiti. That's the only way they can get 2 prize cards, or if you Luxurious Escape. So very situational, but it can be helpful, especially against low damage decks. We're only playing a single copy of Night Stretcher because you're really only going to use this to grab Onix or maybe a Steel Energy. We do run 2 Steel Energy in this deck, and that's mostly for Steelix. You can kind of put it on a bench Onix and get 2 of them on there, but that's not really what you're going to be doing. You're going to be using it for Steelix if you have to attack with Steelix. So Night Stretcher can grab those, or Onix is basically all I use it for. If you have a way to quickly grab one of the, like if you have Academy at Night on the field and you don't have any of those evolution cards in your hand, you can Night Stretcher for 1 and then put it right on the top of your deck. Can be useful. For that reason, we also run 2 Super Odds. This helps you get back Onix and the evolutions. Better to use on the evolutions because it shuffles them right back into the deck where they need to be anyway. We do have 4 Pokégears. Again, these help you get the supporters, so you can play a supporter every turn to get the cards that aren't evolutions out of your deck and out of the way of your Onix's attack. We have 1 Nest Ball, helps us get an Onix. We actually run Secret Box as our A spec. This did get a little bit of attention at Baltimore because it was being run in a Turbo Gardevoir EX deck. Again, it's another card to get things that aren't evolutions out of your deck. That's basically all the trainer cards are for. Trainer cards are to get the things like your Onixes and your Energies out of the deck so that they aren't getting in the way of being discarded by Onix. We do have 1 Boss's Orders in case there's a very key Pokemon you want to knock out with your next attack, and then we run 3 Arvens for, again, same reason as Colress, Tenacity, get cards out of the way. And then we've already talked about the Energies. So this is the deck. Again, want to try it out for yourself? Deck list is in the description below. Just switch out those evolution cards that you may not own. Don't bother buying them. There are plenty of cards that do what they need to do. So take a little time, do that. We're gonna find some games. I'm gonna look specifically for games where this deck works, because again, this deck isn't consistent at all. It's very fun, but it's very inconsistent. So I'm not going to show you guys a bunch of losses where we just flop right away, because that's not the point of this video. We're going to look for battles where this deck actually works so we can see it in action. So I'm going to get a couple of those here, and let's get into it. Okay, my opponent did choose the coin flip. Sorry, I forgot to switch scenes, and then I forgot I had a filter on, so I had to fix all that. But typically you're going to want to go second because you can attack straight away with this deck. Let's see how many times we mulligan. I don't want us to say anything and jinx it, because... Okay, we do mulligan right away. I was going to say, I don't really mulligan with this deck a lot, but that's because I am convinced that online deck shufflers are awful. They're trash. But, of course, we mulligan right away. How many times do we mulligan? 6! That's the most... Of course, this is why you don't bring it up on the video. I've never mulliganed more than twice with this deck. 6 times. But now my opponent's like, what is this deck? So... that is the kind of fun thing about mulliganing that much, because I don't know what's going on. But we do get an Onix and a double colorless. We do have 2 Golems in our hand, which is unfortunate, but we have the Artazon, the Pokégear. Hopefully we can get like a Colress Tenacity right away. We can Artazon for an Onix, and then we could even Night Academy at Night and get one of those Golems back in the deck, if we really wanted to. I don't think I will. I think I'll just Artazon and get another Onix, and then make sure I have 3 Onix. But my opponent's going to start with a Squawkabilly. It's a little annoying because it reduces our damage even more than we already are with our own double turbo energy. So Squawkabilly is going to take 50 less damage from our attack, but it also doesn't have a ton of HP. So normally we'd have to hit 2 cards to KO Squawkabilly, but we have to hit 3 with all the resistance to KO the Squawkabilly. We do see the Roaring Moon EX. I have not faced a Roaring Moon EX in a minute. And I've been happy about it, but now we have to face it with Onix. Let's see if we can get this guy to cry. Of course, my opponent's just going to get every card they need on the first turn. That's kind of how this deck goes. I wonder if they will Squawk and Seize, though, because they do have a lot in their hands. So they, unless they play a ton of cards here, I don't end up seeing them Squawk and Season, you know? Doing a Squawk and Season. My opponent does have to discard a Stadium to be able to KO Onix with Roaring Moon, which is interesting. But we're going to be playing Stadium, so we're going to give the Roaring Moon its ammo it needs. But also, Roaring Moon doesn't have a ton of HP. We only need to hit three Pokemon to KO a Roaring Moon. Okay, they're going to serve me the Roaring Moon on a platter, which is really interesting. They think they can attack, but they went first. I think they just messed up. So I think they thought they could attack this turn, but they went second. Or they went first, so they can't attack. They're going to go for the Town Store. Which I can actually utilize the Town Store. You see the Ancient Booster Energy Capsule, which does increase the Roaring Moon's HP. Which will make it so I will need to hit how many cards? 80, 160, 240. I need to hit 4 to KO a Roaring Moon. But even if we don't, it's a single prize KO for them, right? I'm not going to bother putting the Luxurious Cape on because if there is a... Well, hold on. Oh yeah, no, they hit exactly 220 if there's a Stadium in play. So I'm not going to bother putting a Luxurious Cape because that's just giving them extra prize cards for no reason. Do they Squawk and Seize here? They only have 4 cards left in their hand. And I know there's at least a Dark Energy in there. I think. No, wait. Maybe they discard and play both of them. Some. Okay, I do get another double turbo, which is nice. I do like seeing that. Let's Town Store first so we can get that other Luxurious Cape out of our deck. There it is. Now I can Artazon and use said Artazon to get another Onix. There we go. Now I can Pokégear. And unfortunately I hit the boss's orders and not like Colress, Tenacity, or Arven. But I can put the double colorless here. I would have loved to hit the Colress Tenacity so I could, because at this point, because they fed me this Roaring Moon, I would have loved to get the Academy of Night so I could drop a Golem to ensure that damage. But we can do a total of 380 damage here. Let's see. We hit 4. That Roaring Moon's dead. See? It's crazy. What did we end up discarding off that? Oh, let's get my prizes first. My opponent did all that to set up that Roaring Moon, and I just bopped it by discarding 5 cards off the top of my deck. Oh, we do grab the Secret Box. Can I look at my discard, please? Okay, we got rid of an Arven, which isn't the end of the world. But we also have a Secret Box here, so we can get a ton of our items out if we want. They're going to Artazon. But they do promote the Roaring Moon, which does, like, slow down their energy acceleration, because you typically want Roaring Moon on your bench to get the Dark Patch. But they do have the Professor Sawdas. We're going to see another Roaring Moon EX go down on the bench. So I have to discard 3 cards from my hand. So I could discard 2 Luxurious Capes and I guess like a Golem or something. I can put down a Morpeko. Did they try to get the Morpeko to the active? Because now it's nice that we have the boss's orders. Because if they're trying to save if they try to save like this Roaring Moon or any other Roaring Moons, I can boss orders up. Yep, there's a switch card. So they go to the Morpeko. Makes sense. Because they don't want me just KOing another Roaring Moon. They pass the turn. They pass the turn. Okay, we have Super Rod here. So we can actually put back a bunch of these evolutions. But first we want to thin out the deck a little bit, right? So first and foremost, I can double turbo energy onto this Onix. I can Secret Box to discard 2 of my Luxurious Capes because we're not going to need them. And then a Golem. Grabbing Colress's Tenacity. Academy at Night. I could grab 2 Super Rods and get all of my evolutions back in there, so I just have a ton of evolutions. Or I can grab the Energy Loto and try to get another double turbo so that I don't miss that, right? So let's first Artazon to grab an Onix. There's my Onix. Energy Loto. Unfortunately, we hit a Steel Energy, but that's not the end of the world. Now we want a Super Rod. Get back Aggron VMAX, Golem, and Garganacl. Shuffle them bad boys back in. Then we can boss orders up the Roaring Moon that has the energy on it. We can play Academy at Night. You set Academy at Night. We'll put Golem back on the top of our deck. And then we will Tumblelanche. Let's see, do we hit the 4 again? Ah, only 3 this time. So only 220, just 10 short of KOing that Roaring Moon. Sucks a little bit, but if we didn't have the double turbo energy on there and had 2 steel energy instead, we would have KO'd. And we dropped 2 Colress Tenacities off of it, too. But we didn't drop our energy, so we can grab that next turn with our Colress Tenacity here. But yeah, that's part of this deck. You just kind of miss KO sometimes. It's unfortunate, but we just put a ton of pressure onto this Roaring Moon, right? They're going to Earthen Vessel, dropping the Collapse Stadium because I'm never going to have a full bench. Like, I legitimately just can't have a bench big enough for a Collapse Stadium to matter. Because the only other basics I have is an Onix and a Fezandipiti. So we're going to see the Professor's Sathas of Vitality. They're going to power up a couple of Roaring Moons here. We're going to see a Concealed Cards from the Greninja. They must have another energy in their hand. Because I assume they're attacking with the active Roaring Moon this turn. That's fine. That is fine by me. We've used 1 Super Rod and not the Night Stretcher yet. So we have 1 Super Rod, 1 Night Stretcher left. Yep, we're going to see the energy attached from the Roaring Moon. I assume they do their Calamity Storm and get rid of my Night Market. Because they have to KO me. It's unfortunate because now I can't get this Copperajah out of my hand, but we'll live. I can promote this Onix. Let's see the Pokégear. I'm going to Colress Tenacity first and foremost. And grab an Artazon and the double turbo. I almost don't want to attach this double turbo here, and I'd rather have the steel energy onto the Onix. So that I can ensure... I should have Artazon first before I Pokégeared. I can also double turbo this Onix now. But I kind of want to get an Onix that doesn't have the double turbo because missing the KO on the Roaring Moon really boned me here. But now we Tumblelanche, we have to hit 1. Which we hit 3 again. And we get rid of our other steel energy too. I mean, if I grab Night Stretcher at some point, we'll be able to get it. But now I only have to KO 1 more Roaring Moon. Oh, my other double turbo was safe in my prize cards. That's pretty good for me, actually. But they're going to promote the Morpeko because they want to get this Roaring Moon ready to go. But yeah, we only have 1 double turbo in the discard right now. We're going to have one more if they KO this Onix. You grab a Professor Sathas with the Luminion. See the Professor Sathas onto the Roaring Moon. Dark Patch. That's why we want the Roaring Moon on the bench. Can they get the more Morpeko out of the active, though? That's one of the things with this deck is it only has that one boss's orders. So if you use it, then that's just the end of it. And they're going to attach the Ancient Turbo, too, which makes my job a little bit harder here. It means I have to hit the 4. I mean, I had to hit the 4 anyway because of the double turbo, but... I see the 4 Seal Stone on the Lumineon. Like, you could maybe sneak in some counter catchers even might be useful in here. Or just another boss's orders. But I just don't know what you get rid of. So you don't really want to get rid of any of the evolutions, right? Nice thing is that they're going to have to discard the stadium to knock out my Onix. And then I don't have any more stadiums to play. So next turn I can promote an Onix, attack it, hopefully do enough damage to the point where if they go for the Frenzied Gouging, it KOs them. Yep, they're gonna use that to get rid of my Artazon. Fine by me. Do I promote the Steel Energy Onix? No, I'm gonna promote this Onix. Because I was hoping that I'd, like, get away, like, yeah, I didn't even get it. The Night Stretcher, and then get the Steel, you know, do all that. But we're just going to go for the Thumbleland. Should we hit 5? No, the Fezandipiti is in there, too. And our Night Stretcher was in there. That was our next card. That kind of sucks. But we KO this Roaring Moon, and he would have to do the Frenzied Gouging here to KO us. Nope, he gets Moonlight Hill. So... he can still use the Calamity Storm, but my other Onix comes in and KOs him now. So. Take that, Roaring Moon EX. Yeah, I've kind of put him into a check, I would say. I wouldn't say a checkmate, because he could retreat into one of his little basics, but they also just can't do anything. So I KO them, and be down to 1 price card, and then it'd be a checkmate. So we're in a check right now. Which is really nice. I would say the only way they could really stall me here is to have an Iono. Because if they Iono my double turbo back into my deck, I don't have a way to reliably get energy onto my other Onix. And I don't have any more Onix, right? So Iono would be the only way they could really stop me right now. But do they do that? Do they know I have the double turbo in my hand? And no other energies in my deck for the Steel Onix. The Steel Onix. But Steelix would actually save me. Okay, I hate that it didn't show me. Can you show me the supporter they got, please? Oh no, it's not the Lumineon supporter, it's the friggin' 4 Sealstone, so it's whatever card. So they didn't have to show me, that's right. But what did they grab? PAL pad. Okay. I'm going to put 2 Professor Slathers back in. I wonder if they were out of Professor Slathers there. Not that they needed it. I wonder what they grabbed with the 4 Sealstone then. I don't know. Dark Energy onto the Morpeko. Earthen Vessel. What are they trying to do here? Oh, Water Energy. How does my opponent have less cards in their deck than me when I'm discarding 5 cards every turn? What's your plan, buddy? Who are you trying to power up with that water energy? Calamity Storm. Is Moonlight Hill purely just for your Calamity Storm? Because I don't think they have psychic energies in there to do any healing. That's interesting. I think you would rather like Pokestop, right? Okay, I need to hit 1 evolution card. Let's go. Yeah, we hit 5. We got the big boy hit when it didn't matter. Let's go, Onix. Woo! Yeah, they can see before I can take my prizes. I hate Roaring Moon EX. It makes me so happy to take it out with Onix. 1,340 damage. Let's go. Onix, my child. My son. Alright, let's get another one and see if we can do as well as we did in this match. Alright, my opponent is calling the coin flip. Let's hope that we win it so we can go second. Get another big game. It's a dark coin. You playing Loyal 3 or Roaring Moon? I haven't played against these decks in so long. It's wild to get two of them here. If this is a Roaring Moon or a Loyal 3. I mean, to be fair, I haven't been playing a ton of TCG Live, but a lot of people have been doing like Stellar Crown stuff. Oh, I don't mulligan, but I do get an Onix and a double turbo. The rest of my hand is not what I want to see here, but I guess. Did they say if I was going first or second? Oh, I'm going second. Cool. The Radiant Hisuian Sneasler. Roaring Moon. Yeah, it's another Roaring Moon deck, man. Ugh. Baby Moon, though. We do see the Baby Moon in this version. Wow, they got all the Nest Balls. They don't go for a Pecharunt here, which is interesting. Pecharunt EX, if you will. I would love a way to get another Onix out so I don't just get bopped next turn. Okay, they don't get any energies out, which is nice, but I get a Steelix. That's not what I need to see, because now we could very easily get bopped. And we don't hit anything off the Energy Lotto. Love to see that. Watch this Tumbleland. I could do 760 because this Hisuian Sneasler is weak. Okay, we hit 2 Arvens. We do 440 to the Radiant Hisuian Sneasler. Now we just can't get KO'd this next turn. Oh, grab an Onix off the prizes. So if we survive the turn, we'll be looking good. Unfortunately, I don't think we will. Especially with the Baby Moon becoming the act. Well, no, Baby Moon doesn't have a ton of ancient cards. This is its first ancient card, so right now it's only doing 80. Well, that's a lot more now. So 80, 90, 100. It's only doing 100 right now, so it needs 2 more. There's 1. But he played Explorer's Guidance, so I don't know that he can get 2 Dark Energies attached to Baby Moon this turn. Unless he has Energy Switch, maybe? He's going to manually attach to the one on the bench. Do you have a way to... Yeah, they have no way to KO me. Cool. We survive. We survive! Ooh, Secret Box. That's what I need. I'm going to place down my Onix. Secret Box. I'm going to get rid of a Steelix. It doesn't matter what I get rid of. I mean, the Steelix, I guess I could keep, but I don't necessarily need it, right? Because I can get a Colress Tenacity here. I can get a Nest Ball. I can get a Luxurious Cape. And an Artazon. Yeah. This is how I want to do this. Yeah. Because now what I can do. Nest Ball. For an Onix. Come here. Come here, baby boy. My Onix. Artazon. I guess I got a Nest Ball for the Fezandipiti, but I don't really want it hanging out, so it just gives 2 prize cards that I don't need it right now. So I have all 4 of my Onixes. Now I can Colress Tenacity, grab Academy at Night, and the double... Yeah, I want to grab the double turbo, so I for sure have one for next turn. Attach the Onix. I can't play 2 stadiums a turn? Ah, I never read that. I thought you could play 2 a turn. That's fine. We only have 2 in our hand right now. But now I can Thumblanche and hopefully KO this little baby. There's 3. That should do it. Yeah. I do get rid of a Colress Tenacity, though. That's fine. We KO baby. And we get another double turbo energy. Unfortunately, they're going to have an Artazon to use, but I have all 4 of my Onix out, so I don't have to worry about accidentally discarding one of them. I have 3 of my 4 double turbo energies. And I can ensure at least 80 damage next turn. Or 60, I guess, with the double turbo. They do get to Artazon for their Brute Bonnet, but that's not the end of the world, because if they're poisoning me, I'm going to die anyway, so the poison's not going to end up mattering. And they get rid of my Artazon, which is fine. I need to hit a big Thumblelange here, though, because I need to get rid of this Roaring Moon. Copperajah. We can attach that. We can drop the Academy at night. I'm going to put that Copperajah right back on top of the deck. I don't want that. Please take it back. And then Thumblelange. Let's see. Can we hit it? Not even close. Wow. And we get rid of another Course Tenacity. That's so bad. I think that's all 4 of mine, right? No, there's one more somewhere. But next turn, I should KO that Roaring Moon. The problem is that they'll get rid of my Academy at night, so I can't get rid of this Garganacl and Torterra out of my hand. No, they're going to Pokestop first, so even worse. I have one more double turbo energy. I would like to get that ASAP before I discard it by accident. And then I'm going to have to start getting Onix back out of the discard. Because they're going to KO this Onix. I'll be able to KO their Roaring Moon, but I need to take one more prize card. And they're going to start powering up another Roaring Moon here. And that one also has a ton of HP, so... Earthen Vessel. The nice thing is, they have to discard their Pokestop, and I'm not going to play any more stadiums. I could play another stadium. The only way I'd play another stadium is if I got... I'd have to get a Super Rod and the stadium, right? So... I wouldn't be playing it next turn anyway. But yeah, they have to do the 220, drop their Pokestop. If they don't have another Pokestop next turn, they can't KO my Onix unless they do the big damage. Which, I guess, could work out for them. We're kind of not in a really good spot. Yeah, especially pulling the Venusaur. Yikes, I need my double turbo to not get discarded here. Yeah, that might be the end of it then. Especially dropping the Course Tenacity. And we don't even KO the Roaring Moon. Damn, man. Damn, man. Yeah, I mean, we can't power up another Onix or other Onix fast enough. Unless this Roaring Moon goes for the... only does the 100 damage to us this turn, right? But he did power up this other one. So what he could do is retreat, bring this one in. Like, if he's been counting my cards, he'll retreat, bring this one in, do the big one hit. Yeah, he's gonna even switch card even better. So he can just do the one hit KO here, and then I just really can't do anything, right? Yeah. I would need Night Stretcher. And even then, I might have to, like, Flingle Flangle. Yeah, Frenzied Gouge. Yeah. It's gonna kill me. I don't know that there's a card that you can get special energies out of your discard, right? Like, a card that would work in here, because, I don't even... Because Archops gets it from your deck. If you guys know of a card that gets special energies out of your discard, let me know. I would assume it'd already be in this deck if there was. But I'm going to boss orders up Fatty here. So they need a switch card to get it out of the active, right? And then just end my turn. I need to stall a lot to actually win here, and I don't think it's going to happen. Because is there Steel Energies in here? No, there isn't. So my Steel Energies are in my deck or in my prizes. But if I can somehow make it through, they're going to start attaching. I assume if they have Professor Sada's, yeah, they're going to... That's fine. You can poison me. I don't care about that. I don't care about the poisons, man. Pokégear. We don't even hit. We don't even hit anything. And we have a Super Rod hanging out. I needed a Pokégear. I don't even know what I could get to help me with Pokégear, because I need... What would be helpful right now is a Steelix and a Steel Energy, but I ain't got none of that. So, a wasted turn. Squawk. Interesting Squawk placement. Why would you even play Squawkabilly? For fun, I guess? Arven, that's not really going to help us. Like, I could have went for the Energy Lotto and fished for the Steel Energy. I should have looked at my whole deck to even see what I have there. Well, I'm going to Super Odd. Get back in. I'm going to put Pheasant in there. And 2 Onix. And then I'll just end the turn. If they have an energy here to get the Brute Bonnet out of the active, we just lose, but we tried, dang it. They didn't have it. They only have 10 cards left. We could technically win. Yeah, I'll just end their turn. I'm sure they have something to get the Brute Bonnet out of the active within those 10 cards, though. So we can't rely on that. We have to hope for another Onix. Pokestop! Do it! Hit nothing. Oh, they got a Trekking Shoes. Hit nothing off the Trekking Shoes. I think they're looking for either Earthen Vessel or an Energy. Or no, Earthen Vessel or a Switch card. I got the Switch card. Damn! I need the Switch cards to be at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, that's fine. They win. We weren't able to get our Onix. Yeah, even putting a... If I would have put the Luxury Cape on there, the Onix would have lived that, but you could have just done the big hit to discard the Stadium, right? Or she. Or they. Yeah, we needed to get an Onix. If we actually had a chance of stalling them out of their deck if we got an Onix, right? Well, not really. Not really. Because their Roaring Moon was back in the active, right? And they could just start blasting Onix, and I wouldn't have had enough to survive them decking themselves out. At that point, though, they only had 4 cards left. So it was possible, but highly unlikely. Let's do one more. See if we can get a really good Onix game to end it off. I don't mind this game. Like, this game gets included because it shows how this deck can just putter out. A lot of times it just doesn't even go. So we at least got to do a lot of stuff, but it did end up puttering out, unfortunately, because we discarded our own double turbo. But we're gonna do one more. See if we can get another big swing, big Onix swing for you to end it off. I didn't get to coin flip any games tonight. Bloody heck. Yeah, we're gonna see. My opponent let me go second, please. And don't be a Roaring Moon deck again? I'd like to fight something else tonight. They won the coin flip. They will go first. Love to see it. Let me get a big Onix swing turn 1. Raging Bolt. Raging Bolts are easier to KO, though. We do mulligan. How many times do we mulligan? Only 2. And we get 2 Onix to start off and a double turbo, an Energy Lotto, a Pokégear. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. It's a pretty good starting hand, in all honesty. Let's see. What did my opponent start with? It is Raging Bolt. Again, Raging Bolt's easier to KO than Roaring Moon's. Actually, no, they're the same, right? Roaring Moon's 230, Raging Bolt's 240. Or are they both 240? Because they both get to 290 with the Ancient Booster Energy. So it's the same. It's the same, but the nice thing is Raging Bolt has to discard 2 energies to KO Onix. So getting rid of 2 energies for a single prize. Not that that's not impossible for Raging Bolt to do, or hard for that matter, but it's better than having to discard 1, right? Pokestop. Get a Nest Ball off the Pokestop, and they do get an energy for Raging Bolt into the prizes, but they do also put a bravery charm in the prizes, which is good. Less HP you have to chunk through, the better. Onix is weak to Ogerpon, but if Ogerpon has 3 energy on it, it's KOing anyway, right? No, yeah, no, yeah, because it's 3. It'd be math is hard. Yeah, I mean, even if I have no energy attached, it KOs me even if I'm not weak, so. But then that's Ogerpon attacking. And Ogerpons are a little bit easier to KO. Well, is the math easier? The math is the same for both. Well, not when Raging Bolt has a stupid bravery charm. Alright, I'm gonna pass the turn. I have to get a big hit to KO this Raging Bolt. And pulling a Rhyperior is not what I wanted to see. Onix. Double Turbo. There's no point in spinning the Pokestop because I could just discard my own things I need. Okay, both the Steel Energies were together for some reason, just hanging out. Then I can Pokégear and hit nothing off the Pokégear. Thank you for that. I think I got a 6. Well, let's get lucky and hit 5. That was really bad. What did we get rid of? Super Rod and Luxury Escape. Luxury Escape wasn't in the world. Pokégear as well. I would like to not have done that to Super Rod, but rather a Super Rod than a Double Turbo, right? They're going to be able to KO me here. Then we're really in a bind because we didn't get the double colorless off of our Poke Lotto. I need to top deck a Colress Tenacity or a Pokégear into a Colress Tenacity. Otherwise, I think I just lose. Or top deck the double turbo. But also having a second Onix. Or another Onix, I should say. I don't know, there's a lot of things that are probably not great for us here. Earthen Vessel, sorry, not Ultra Ball. Ooh, I was gonna sneeze. Do they not have the Professor Sawdust, so they have to Earthen Vessel for that? It's kind of sad. It's a little sad for you, Raging Bolt. Yep, they do have the Professor Sawdust. Never mind, it's not sad for you, Raging Bolt. In fact, it's really good for you, just like all the time for you. I love fighting the 2 decks I hate the most on the casual ladder. It's really cute. It's really cute. It's not that I don't hate Raging Bolt as much as I hate Roaring Moon. Like, I want to make a Raging Bolt deck. I like Raging Bolt. I hate it because it's just so consistent. It's such a good deck. Same thing with Roaring Moon, to be fair, but Roaring Moon I just hate with a passion. Like, going ranked with this, man. You get more points for it. Why are you over here? Yeah, they have 2 Raging Bolts ready to go. They just blast this Onix if I don't get some way to get... I need both an Onix and a... Well, actually, no. Colress Tenacity would be the thing I need to top deck, right? Because then I could grab the double turbo for the Onix I have in the field. And then I could grab the Artazon to get another Onix. Opponent's actually going to switch card, I guess. Because I have less of a chance of KOing this one if I get the cards I need. But I need to get the cards I need, right? Okay, it comes down to this. I have to top deck either a Pokégear or a Colress Tenacity. Let's go. Big hit. Frick. Alright, yeah. Only thing I could really do is Pokestop for Pokégear. I do get to Pokégear, but there goes a double turbo, which means there's only 2 left. Here, Colress Tenacity off of this. Ooh, hold on. Hold on, hold the phone. Colress Tenacity. Double turbo, Artazon. Play the Artazon. Artazon. I should have super rotted to be safe. I should have super rotted to be safe. Just to make sure I got an Onix. But I'm going to super rot here. Because I want more options of hits. Because I need to hit... I need to hit 3 here. Double turbo. Big hit. Let's go. I hit 4. And I think we just lose now because I hit a Colress Tenacity on that. Steelix and a VMAX. Let me look at my discard, please. I don't care that you're putting a Raging Moon into the active. Oh no, there's only 2 Colress Tenacities in the discard. So if I top deck a Colress Tenacity here to get my last double turbo, then we're kind of good. So I haven't had time to put Steel Energies down onto Onix Eye. What I could do, though, it won't KO this Raging Bolt, but I can evolve into Steelix and put a Steel Energy onto my Onix in the active spot and just hit the Earthquake. And buy me a turn is essentially all that would do. You see the Sandy Shocks. I'm always surprised, like, if you aren't playing a deck that's just getting ready, like, grabbing everything out of your deck in the first couple turns, it's just not a good deck, is what you kind of come to find. It's like, I'm actively discarding my own cards, and my opponents always have less cards in their deck than me. It's because they have so many search cards to just grab everything they need so that they can play all the cards that they need to play, right? It's like, what turn is this? Yeah, this is only turn 3? Or no, it's more than turn 3. How does... Oh, this is setup. This is setup. So it is turn 3. This is turn 3, and my opponent already has almost half of what I have left in my deck. Energy retrieval. One card away from being half of my deck. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Yeah, so ideally we top deck a Colress Tenacity next turn. Because then I can Artazon for my last Onix, and then Colress Tenacity, grab my last double turbo, and the Night Academy at Night. I can play the Academy at Night, put one of these dinguses, oops, drop my ball, drop one of these dinguses back on the top of my deck so I ensure the damage, and then get rid of this Raging Bolt. But then where do we go from there? That's the question. Because I haven't had time to put down a Steel Energy on anything, so I just have 2 Steel Energies hanging out, which means my Onixes are going to die before I can get enough Steel Energies down to do their attack. I have too many things under my desk, because I have a pedal machine, and my ball is behind it. I'm trying to get my ball. I want my ball, dang it. I'm stressed. It's not really a stress ball, it's more of a massage ball. Because it's got all these nubbies. Oh, my Onix is dead! Okay. This is what determines it. Top deck, Colress Experiment, please. Colress Tenacity, the other one. Damn it. I mean, hold on. We get the Onix. Let me Artazon for my last Onix. Now, I'm not going to attack with like a Steelix this turn because it doesn't KO, but I can evolve to a Steelix, which makes them have to discard more energy to KO, because they need to discard 3 now to KO Steelix. So I'm going to end my turn here. They're like, why didn't you attach the Steelix to Earthquake? Because it doesn't KO you, ding dong. And I need both the energies there. I mean, they're probably just gonna boss order or prime catcher it, right? The Onix with the energy on it, because they have their whole deck in their hand at this point. I would be surprised if they don't have a way to grab the Onix with the energy on it. Yep. So, like I said, there's the prime catcher. So is there still a... Yeah, there's still another double turbo. So this happening doesn't mean we lose yet. First us out of this Vitality, gets you both electric energies on your Raging Bolts, and then more cards. And you don't even have to discard. Pal Pad, we'll get 2 Professor Slathers back for you. Earthen Vessel. So why not? Are you gonna double Teal Dance here? You're getting so greedy. Do it again. I want you to deck yourself out. It's one of my win cons at this point. Bloody hell. I discarded 1 Super Rod, right? Oh wow, they're pulling their cards. No, I've used both my Super Rods. That sucks. Yeah, I discarded 1 and I used the other, right? So I have a Night Stretcher hanging out somewhere, which I'm going to need, because I need to get another Onix back at this point. I'm going to make them take all of their prize cards. Do we do the Steelix or the Onix? I think the Steelix buys us more time, right? Yeah, I'm going to go for the Steelix. How much damage do they do? Does this say? Took 180, but that's because of weakness. So this guy can't KO my Steelix. Or can it? 30, 60, 90, 120, 150. If I add a Steel Energy to it, then they can. Energy Loto. How did I not hit my last double turbo? It can't. It must not be that. I mean, it's only 7 cards, I guess. Well, let's see. Let's see. I should have looked when I was Energy Lotoing, but we can't do anything off this anyway. Wait, no. Go back. Go back, ding dong. Oh, this shows me the whole deck because I fail. That's right. That's right. It is in there. See? Look, it's right there. So we can get it, but there's no more Colress Tenacities. Ugh. They're not all discarded, so there must be a Colress Tenacity in my prize cards. This is bad. This is bad news for me. Do I attach the Steel Energy? Well, no, wait, no. Wait, why did it only do 180? Why did it only do 180 to Onix? Oh, 360. Got it. So it did 180. So wait, it's doing 180 anyway? 30, 60, 90, 120, or 50. I didn't have an energy on that. No, I did have a single energy on it. I'm going to make them have to attach another energy to this thing. There's no reason to attach the Steel Energy. I guess there was a reason. Well, no. Because what I could have done is attach the Steel Energy to the Onix, and then if I got Night Stretcher, I could grab the other Steel Energy and attach, and then be able to attack. But then one of the Raging Bulls just KO me, and I wouldn't have another Onix. So if I get the Night Stretcher, I need to grab another Onix, right? Hee. Okay, I'm gonna Teal Dance, which I love, because now you're down to 5 cards. You're gonna Teal Dance again to bring it down to 4. They need to continue to draw here to be able to deck out before they KO all my Onix, even if I get another Onix. Fighting Energy. Wow, you didn't need that many energy on there. Oh, you did. Okay, so I guess I don't know how to count. Oh no, because Steelix resist grass, that's right. Yeah, but I lost anyway. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Again, we just kind of petered out. That's what happens when you're discarding your own cards. You hit some bad discards, and you just end up losing. Yeah, because I can Artazon, and it won't do anything, because I don't have any Onix in here. Yeah, we just, like, we hit really bad discards, and weren't able to get the cards we need to get cards out of the deck. Because, like, there's a ton of trainers and stuff in there. We just weren't able to get them out because, like, things like Colress Nasty and stuff were getting hit. So, it's unfortunate. I'll let my opponent take this. It's fine. You have the meta deck in the casual ladder. You go, girl. But yeah, that's going to be today's video. Like I said, the deck is really fun, but you can just kind of peter out sometimes if you don't get if you hit some bad tumbles with your Onix, which is why this deck isn't the best, but fun, and that's the point of it. So if you want to try it out, the deck list is in the description below. Again, the evolution cards just need to have 4 retreat costs. They don't have to be the fancy ones that I have in here, so you can swap them out for cards that you do own, so you don't have to use your currency to buy the cards that I'm using, and it'll still work. But thank you guys so much for joining me today. If you have any suggestions for decks you want to see in future videos, let me know down in the comment section below, or even cards you want to see, and I could attempt to make something of them, but I'm not the best. I will say I'm not as creative as some of these people. A lot of decks I use are lists that I find, and I tweak some of them, but other ones we just use as is. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I don't say this often, so like and subscribe if you haven't already. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. Have a good night, everybody.